If you've ever struggled with emotional eating or anything in that realm, then you'll want to listen to my tips. So I've been reading in the life book right there. And, in this section, Dr. A is talking about breathing, consciousness, above and below the line of being open, curious, growth mindset versus closed, defensive, and wanting to be right. There's just all of these things correlate, and they're pretty incredible. And one thing I love about the life book is that it is teaching us also to journal. And I was thinking back earlier about a high-level leadership event that I went to. It was with Helen Irwin. And she would, in her teaching, ask some questions, and you would journal the same exact questions every day for like, a couple weeks. And that process helped your mind to open up and go deeper. And I just felt like, wow, that is really powerful and brilliant. And I remember going through those steps and those questions and thinking, oh, I wish I just had more questions to ask myself. I'm not good at coming up with these. And I came across a book, and I have a friend. Anyway, they were sharing some things, and I came across a particular section, and I thought of, the people that I work with. And, it can be tricky to really change part of who we are. And if we go by default in life, we usually don't get what I want. It has to take intention, purpose, connection. In fact, there's a direct quote that I want to read that is from Viktor Frankl again, but this is a different one. When a person can't find a deep sense of meaning, they distract themselves with pleasure. Okay, I promise that's true. When we are distracted, it's so easy to use a buffer to escape the emotion that we're experiencing. So man does not simply exist, but always decides what his existence will be, whether by default or by purpose, what he will become in the next moment. So that dialogue coincides with what he had said in this man's search for meaning earlier. In between stimulus and response, there is a space. So stimulus, you see XYZ food, like whether it's like on a phone commercial, like a Pinterest or something. And then the thought, and so the stimulus is you see it. There's a space between stimulus and response. And then the response is, do you go get the cookie later, whether it's like takes time or not. But Dr. A talks about stop, challenge, and choose between that space, that we have a choice. And especially too, you can strengthen that as you pre-plan things, which is a really important part of it. And so as I was rounding this back to the questions that I feel are so reflective, journaling is really important. More consciousness and awareness of where we think is really important. In fact, I took a different course that was from Brooke Castillo, and she would have you, she would call them joy eats. And she would have you, if you're going to eat like a sweet treat or something like that, something indulgent, she would have you write down the entire experience as you're eating it. And really bringing to your mind, like, how often are we distracted by it? And a lot of times it's like this memory we have of being with someone and that we've had joy in that area. So those pieces, putting those pieces together as you find more consciousness in writing these things down, can give you more awareness around these pieces. So these are the questions that I found, that it's like 4 specific to appetite excessive. Okay. And so these are questions that you may want to reflect upon. What am I trying to protect? And this could be like maybe your emotions, maybe, where are you in that? So what are some better ways than eating food to truly feel the love I desire? These are like amazing questions. What emotions am I allowing to control me? What will it take for me to get in control of my emotions? Like when we feel an emotion, how often are we avoiding that? Are we pushing it down? Are we distracting ourselves with pleasure, right? Do we have a deep sense of meaning? What is the meaning? Are you clear on it? That's your why, by the way. 4, what information am I resisting avoiding or ignoring that is trying to come up at a spiritual level. Number 5, what value have I placed on believing emotions are a sign of weakness? The world we live in today, everybody's avoiding emotions, and everybody's really, I have to sit there and tell my children, it's okay to be angry, but we're not going to do X, Y, Z. So anger is even a beautiful emotion. What needs to be changed or ended? In my other room, I have the 5 steps to processing emotions. Learn the 5 questions at the bottom. They are so good. Actually, learn the entire page if you really want to achieve your ultra health. Okay, 6, what nutrition is my body seeking that I am not presently giving it? So aren't those good questions? So I wanted to encourage you to journal. Have my hot chocolate right there. And let's touch base. Hope you guys have an amazing day.